You're watching Good Day Austin on Fox 7.
All right, as we've been telling you, opening statements will soon be heard in President Trump's impeachment trial. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is celebrating major developments when it comes to trade. We're honored to have Congressman Roger Williams here to talk about these issues and maybe a few more items as well. Good morning, Congressman.
Good morning.
We will start with impeachment. Of course, those opening statements getting underway in just a matter of hours. What have you been made to the extent you've been able to follow what was going on yesterday with kind of laying some of the ground rules for this trial?
Well, the ground rules have been laid. Mitch McConnell's got his rules out there. Now they're following it, and he gave a little to the Democrats yesterday on time and that sort of thing. But we need to get it on because I came out of the portion we had with impeachment in the House. And like many, I think that this has really cost America a lot of money, a lot of time. We need to get on with it and get it over with.
Do you think it will play out that way? Obviously, we've been saying the calls for witnesses and documents won't go away, even with these initial ground rules. Obviously, both sides will be making their cases right now. Could you see a scenario in which some witnesses or documents were allowed?
Well, I guess you could, but I think the scenario needs to be, I mean, you know, the House has the sole power of impeachment. We went through the process. They called the witnesses they wanted to call. They made the decision. We voted for or against, sent it over there, and the Senate really, their responsibility is to take and look what the House did and decide if it meets the standard or not, and that's the way it ought to be, and take an up or down vote and be over with. So we don't know about witnesses. Right now it appears there won't be any witnesses, and make a decision without them.
It sounds right now. Can you see a scenario in which this is done quickly? Or, I mean, how quickly is quick? Obviously, that's what the President and Republicans like to see.
Well, there's a lot of people think it'll go through April. I think it'll probably go 3 or 4 weeks.
Really?
Quick would be in a week.
Right, yeah.
But we'll see. I think the American public, it wants to move on. A lot of the American public's not even following it. I mean, we got a great economy. In our district alone, our military's strong. We got energy independence. We got a lot of good things going here. We need to get on with it.
We have had some big economic headlines recently. Of course, the President overseas right now talking about economics worldwide in Switzerland. And big deals have been made throughout North America. And, of course, the first step being made with China, which is such big news for the markets. Where does that stand right now? Well,
the China agreement is a big deal. It helps farmers. It begins to get everybody on a level playing field. But we also, USMCA, NAFTA too, as a lot of people refer to it, is going to be fabulous for Texas. It's going to be great for our country, but really good for Texas. And it's going to create a lot of jobs, high-paying jobs. So things are cooking. I've been in business 50 years. I've never seen the economy like it is now. Whoever thought we'd have more jobs than people and GDP talking about 3%. A lot of good things happen, especially right here in Texas.
Yeah, and again, saw the North American Free Trade Agreement, or the new one, NAFTA 2.0 as we call it, just naming the 3 nations. But again, China, that first step, there was so much back and forth throughout 2019 of would there be progress made? The standoff was happening. Again, we have seen that some start to break now with the beginnings of the agreement, but what needs to happen there in 2020?
Well, what needs to happen is China needs to do what they said they do. We got a $200 billion deal, $32 billion is going to help the farmers, and now China needs to begin to do what they said they would do. I believe that they will. There's a lot of pressure there. If you don't, we're going to pay more money. I'm not a tariff guy. I think it does raise the cost of goods sold, but it certainly, President Trump did a good job in negotiating that deal. And now, of course, now he's moving over to Europe to make things fair for America and things for our producers and things for our consumers.
We'll be working on that, I'm sure, in 2020, in dealing with China, dealing with things throughout North America as well. But what else is on your horizon?
Well, I want to, as we move forward, I want to make tax cuts permanent. We've seen what tax cuts have done to the economy. I want to continue to strengthen the military. Fort Hood is doing really well. Our soldiers are doing well. I want to stay energy independent from foreign energy. We've done a great job of that. And I want to promote school safety and protect our schools and our teachers. We've got a bill in Congress right now. It's bipartisan that allows for grants from school districts to apply to improve their schools for safety. We want to get all that done.
It will be very interesting as all that work goes on. Oh, by the way, I understand there's an election this year, so this will be it will be a very, very busy 2020. We appreciate you taking some time with us, Congressman Roger Williams.
Appreciate it.